You have to become a giver. You have to come, and then you have to be willing to give. And giving, again, the scope is so much bigger than your money. Now let's define giving. And I want you to get the idea of money out of your head for a second. Giving is taking something that you have access to and passing it on to someone else. So if you have access to wisdom and you pass it on to someone else, you're giving wisdom. If you have access to compassion and you're passing it on to someone else, you're giving compassion. If you have access to love and you're passing it on to someone else, you're giving love. If you have access to food and you pass it on to someone else, you're giving food. If you have access to money and you're passing it on to someone else, you're giving money. And so it's not just limited to your tithe and your offering, and you get the things from heaven that God gives you access to, and you're willing to be a conduit and give it over to something else. That is designed to reap harvest in your life. If you can get into the system of giving, it's the revelation that you have. And if you're able to share this revelation with other people, the revelation that you have fully received, that you have fully been engrafted to, then that's how we're going to build the ecclesia. That's what makes you a giver. No matter what God gives me access to, no matter what God allows to come into my hands, no matter what God downloads into my mind and my spirit and my soul, whatever it is, because I am a giver, I'm going to take what God gives me and I'm going to pass it on to someone else. That's the definition of an ecclesia giver. That's the definition of someone who has become a giver. And that's what God is calling you to today. God is not saying, Jesus is not saying, upon you, Peter, I'm going to build my church, because we know that God doesn't put the weight of the church on the shoulder of any one person.